We are live. Welcome to 2 Sweet Converse. In short, I am Nico.
Steve-O here.
Wild card.
EJV.
All right, everyone. We're listening to the feedback and doing some experiments this week. With 2 Sweet Converse short, we are going to try a reduced format, but be short and sweet. So we want to hear your thoughts on how you like this format for this week and if we should continue or go back to the old one. So getting right into the point, we're going to talk about a hot topic this week in the world of pro wrestling. Sasha Banks is the new Raw Women's Champion as of Monday Night Raw. She and Bayley have joined many different teams in being double champions, holding the Raw, SmackDown Women's Championships, as well as the Women's Tag Team Champions, joining the leagues of the two-man power trip and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H, as well as the dudes with attitudes of Diesel and Shawn Michaels. So what I'd like to get you guys to talk about is the following. What do you think of the match? What did you think of the match with Sasha as well as Asuka? How long do you see these women holding the titles for? And if you like that they're holding all the titles. So who would like to start this one off? Wildcard?
Yes, Wildcard should start it off.
Let's have you do the
Yes, before he ends up blowing a vein in his head.
All right. I had so much to say about that. But I was gonna say, did you see my eyes light up when you said Sasha Banks, the new Raw Women's Champion? There?
Yes, they became more wider than usual.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Inside joke. Anyway, outside of the fandom that I have, it's no secret with the whole Sasha Banks thing that I have. We'll talk about that another time. But from a wrestling aspect, I actually do like the move just because of the lack of female star power in the women's division in WWE right now. I mean, we've talked about this in previous episodes there too. Similar topics, really, but especially with Becky Lynch being missing in action, and of course Charlotte going to be missing in action too. I mean, those are two females that we are missing right now that WWE could use, Raw or SmackDown. So who's going to fill in their shoes while they're away? I mean, who better than the two other horsewomen, Bayley and Sasha? I mean, why not them? I mean, those ladies right there, I mean, having all the titles there too, it's just like Steve-O said, it's just a throwback to the two-man power trip. The days when Stone Cold, Triple H, at one point, WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, tag team champions. When was the last time we actually had something like that? So, I mean, just seeing them have all the gold, I mean, that is just pure domination right there from the women's division right there. Because, I mean, if not them, who would you actually give the ball to? Now, granted, Asuka, had her opportunity, at the women's title, and it was great that she did have a run with it. I just didn't like the way that it was how she dropped the title. I thought that was kind of stupid. I didn't actually see the match though. I just saw highlights of it. But the way that she dropped it and the way in that kind of fashion, I mean, come on. I mean, you wasted a potential of an actually good match between Asuka and Sasha Banks. I mean, I felt like that was something that could have been a treat for the fans to see, but in the end, the WWE decided to pull their WWE type shit and decided to just do that and then give the title to Sasha, which again, from a bias standpoint, I am not opposed to, but I wish they could have just handed it off a little bit better. So, but congrats to Sasha Banks there on becoming the new Raw Women's Champion, and going to pass it on, or else I'm going to keep rambling with this big smile on my face.
All right, who would like to take this one next?
Please let me go.
Nico?
Be my,
all right,
be my guest.
Okay, Andy, you're gonna hate me. I hate the fact that Sasha Banks is the Raw Women's Champion right now.
I was gonna say you missed that part where I said I hate you already.
Yeah, I know. Feelings mutual. Anyways, I don't have a problem with Sasha. I'm a Sasha Banks fan. She just doesn't do it for me as Bayley, Becky, Charlotte, even wrestlers like Naomi, Asuka, Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, which I can't believe we're not going to talk about how, WWE decided to write Kairi Sane off of television, because the rumors are true. Kairi Sane is officially leaving the WWE, but we'll talk about that at another time. The reason why I'm not a fan of Sasha being the Raw Women's Champion right now, just because of how it was executed. Um, the way they decided to do it at Extreme Rules was just like, oh, okay. And then the match with her and Asuka, anytime those two are together, it's gonna be a good match. Um, but like, you basically have Sasha getting her ass kicked and she's knocked out. She's basically dead in the water. Um, and all Asuka really had to do is cinch in the Asuka lock for a few seconds. Granted, I like that they've made it be where Bayley's, basically murdering Kairi Sane backstage, beating her to death. Um, and they did the old school thing where the babyface has to choose: do I keep my championship or do I go save my best friend? So that was kind of cool, but still, the thing I just don't like about it is we know the rumors of, hey, maybe they're gonna do Bayley versus Sasha at some point. If they do an all women's pay per view again, Evolution 2, I'm fine with that. But I just wish, because of the role Bayley's on right now, being a heel, which I never thought would get over and change my opinion. When they first started turning Bayley heel, I thought, oh my god, this is the biggest mistake ever. How can you do this? You're losing such a big moneymaker in somebody who gets over with kids and with everybody, with, the I Like Hugs character in Bayley turning her heel. She has officially won me over. I'm loving heel Bayley. My thing is, Sasha's better as a heel, so I would have rather they did that route, but then again, they've done that already. So to me, it just feels weird. What are they going to do? Are they really going to have Bayley and Sasha be a two-man power trip or women trip? Okay, cool. Give me two women right now that are on the WWE payroll, Raw, SmackDown, NXT UK, that you could honestly see them bringing in and say, okay, this is a credible threat to Bayley and Sasha. There ain't really two people that I can see right now. What, do they wait till Charlotte comes back and then they bring in somebody like Tessa as like an outsider? Maybe, but like, okay. It just feels weird to me on how it's being executed. Um, Again, I'm not the biggest Sasha Banks fan for reasons of what I've seen of how she's presented herself outside the ring. Not knocking her for that. That's her choice. But it's just like, okay, they're giving you the ball here, but what's the payoff in the long run? Um, don't get me wrong, the shirt that they just came out with them holding all the titles, um, the new shirt on WWE Shop, it's a dope shirt. I might buy it, but it's just like, okay, what's the real payoff here? Do we get Bayley versus Sasha at some point one on one? But I don't know just how they're gonna get there now, because they kind of put themselves in a rock and a hard place when you have all these other women go. That's all I gotta say. I just don't know what they're gonna do, and that's what worries me.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we will find out, I guess, as we go. EJB, your thoughts?
I was kind of a little bit how do I put this? I was a little bit split down the middle, to say the least, on whether I like Sasha as the new champion or not. And it took me a little bit, and I thought about it, and it does make sense in the sense that really there are all the credible women out there besides Asuka, besides maybe Naomi or whoever, who are out there are either A, not being used, B, just lost the title, or C, other credible women are out. Like Andy said, we're missing Becky, we're missing Charlotte. Hell, we're even missing Ronda Rousey. We're missing great competitors who can vie for those titles. We're missing credible threats. And that's part of the reason why I think Sasha got the belt, because of the lack of a credible threat to a champion like a Sasha, like a Bayley, who have been on fire since the whole pandemic first started. To me, outside of maybe Zelina Vega and outside of one or two others, they have been the MVPs of WWE since the pandemic first started. I mean, their promos, their work on the commentary booth, they're just trashing. Their social media presence has been on point. Even after Kyrie left, everybody was saying, "Thank you, Kyrie. Thank you, Kyrie. Thank you, Kyrie." Sasha stayed in full character and was trashing Kyrie and was saying that Triple H's birthday should be freaking canceled and should be called Banks Two Belts Day, which I thought was freaking genius. I thought, it's all about the sense of believability, and Sasha and Bayley are trying to keep that by acting as heels, kind of like an MJF would on social media and in the ring. So, wasn't happy with the decision at first because at Extreme Rules we had that wonky ass finish, and that really took away from that moment. And while the finish this time was a little bit better, maybe it could have been done different. But in the end, I think, in a sense, the right team or the right person holds the title right now because of the lack of star power. People can say, "Oh, they're holding the belts hostage," blah blah blah. I don't give a shit about that. Right now, we got two credible women holding three credible championships, and you know what? It is like a two-man power trip, like a two dudes with attitude. But to me, I think this is where I think Sasha and Bayley are going to really bring, I won't say bring fans in, but they're really going to showcase what they're truly about, because they're more cocky and arrogant than ever. And I think it's really going to they're going to showcase that over the next couple weeks now as Sasha as champion.
My thoughts, I'm actually cool with Sasha winning the Raw Women's title. Now, could they have gone about it better? Yes, absolutely. I think that she should have, if they were going to go all in on Sasha winning, she should have just won it at Extreme Rules. Now with that silly Bayley taking the referee's shirt off and putting it on her to create that stupid controversy. And also, I thought it is fine that they did, make Asuka act as a face and go and save her friend Kairi Sane. I did think that it was a bit ridiculous, Kairi screaming, "Asuka, Asuka, help me!" And she's essentially been a former women's tag team champion, a former NXT women's champion. I mean, come on. I think she could have defended herself a little bit. Yeah, I guess she got her head banged on the ladder and on the steel gate, if you will. But I think that maybe they could have made Bayley act a little more violent with her, use like a baseball bat, something like that, threaten to break her arm. I don't know. They could have added a little more drama to that. But anyways, I'm cool with them giving this two women power trip a try. I really liked when Stone Cold Triple H were the two-man power trip holding the world, IC, and tag titles. I thought that was really cool at the time. So it's something fresh for the women's division. And yeah, like you guys mentioned, they're lacking some star power for the women's division. They don't have Charlotte there right now. They don't have Becky Lynch. Ronda Rousey, of course, has been gone for a long time. So it is nice to see the two other four horsewomen get elevated in Sasha Banks and Bayley. I think it's about time they get some, better treatment. Bayley's been a long time SmackDown Women's Champion. Who knows when she's going to drop that. It's going to be interesting to see which contenders they make and, have them end the streak of the two women power trip. We might see Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax come together and go for the women's tag titles. They kind of have a little rivalry going on. Maybe they'll, be, the odd couple and just go and win the women's tag team championship.
I don't want to see that. I don't. Please, no, because you know what? You're right. Knowing WWE, you're right. Yeah. They would do that, and I don't want to see that. Don't get me wrong. I love it because if Shayna Baszler's on my TV screen, okay. But all right, continue.
No worries. I'm 50-50 on the idea. I know we had that discussion about Nia Jax weeks back, but that's something we can talk about later. But in short, no, I like that they're experimenting with this two women power trip. And we'll see where it goes from there. I don't know when they're going to lose the titles. I think eventually they're going to build up to like either the Royal Rumble or maybe next year's WrestleMania. Sasha versus Bayley finally for one of the titles, be it the Raw or the SmackDown title. All I'm asking, and I'm going to close it out with this, is please, WWE, don't have Sasha lose the Raw Women's title at SummerSlam like she does with all her other titles, losing it the pay-per-view after she wins it. That's all I ask. Please don't do that.
You know she's going to. You know she is.
Yeah, you never know. We will see what happens.
I think it would have been better if they would have had Sasha win the SmackDown Women's title and then Bayley been the Raw champion. Just because, just hear me out. Just because the SmackDown Women's title is technically the only title that Sasha's never held in WWE. So that I think would have made more sense. But that's a different argument, I guess. Like I said earlier.
Yeah, just think of this really quick. Won't it be a little bit sweeter when they finally do clash and Sasha will get her first shot at the SmackDown Women's title and she and Bayley go head to head? What do you guys think of that?
But that's the thing though. That's the thing though. How do we get there? We know that's the match everybody wants under the sun here, but it's like, how do we get there at this point? Because at this point, I really don't see it.
I mean, time will tell. That's what future episodes will be for. But yeah, so we are going to hold off on the cosplayer of the week this week. However, we're going to represent one of our favorite wrestling stables of all time. We're going to showcase some Bullet Club cosplayers. Sweet, y'all. Have a look right here.
The genesis behind Too Sweet Cosplay.
All right, and we are back. Those were some awesome Bullet Club cosplays we've done. Next week, we will be returning with the Cosplayer of the Week segment. So please submit your cosplays to us on the Too Sweet Cosplay Facebook page, and you might be featured as a Cosplayer of the Week.
Send us your stuff.
There we go. So now...
Do it.
Yeah. All right, we are going on to our final segment, and this is a Q&A among the people who have submitted us questions all around social media. This is going to be something a little bit different, and we're going to start it off with the first question being from Platinum Saki, a.k.a. Alejandro. All right, so his question is it safe to attend wrestling shows or Comic-Cons during a pandemic? Are we all really ready for it? Who would like to take this question to start off?
Who's going? Am I going?
Nico, you take it.
Take it, man.
I think that's two different questions in one. I mean, I'm ready to go to comic conventions. Just to interact with people. My only social interaction that I get is doing these shows and interacting with you guys on a weekly basis. And I know for a lot of people, um, you are not alone. Needing social interactions, being during times of being stuck in the house or stuck in one location because of something like a nationwide pandemic can be very hard and very stressful, physically and mentally speaking. So I completely understand that. One thing that I do like, that a lot of conventions are doing it, um, now, since cons are being canceled, physically speaking, is you can meet some celebrities from shows virtually. Wizard World is doing virtual cons. Galaxy Con is doing virtual meet and greets where you can pay to uh, meet a celebrity for like a 2 minute video chat session or a video recording for a certain price. Now I know people are thinking, wait, I have to pay a ridiculous, what they might be perceived as a ridiculous amount for just 2 minutes. Okay, how much would you say you pay for a photo op at a physical con with a celebrity? You would still pay that same ridiculous price that you would find to be ridiculous, but yet you're interacting with them for 2 minutes or less physically. Oh, hey, how you doing? Shake their hand, take the picture, ready, next. I mean, so I think if you're able to do that from the comfort of your own home, it's pretty awesome if you ask me. So there are still ways you can sort of attend cons from home. We had San Diego Comic Con from home last week, which was pretty fun and exciting. So I do see what Alejandro's saying. Obviously, it's not safe right now to attend cons physically. Who knows when it'll be? I certainly hope so. It's somewhat soon because I do miss going to cons and interacting and seeing my friends physically. A lot of my friends that I talk with the majority of the time now are people that I've met at uh, conventions. So I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. Um, but for right now, I would highly recommend if you're really wanting to interact with celebrities, do things like virtual cons, do things like Cameo, and that's all I can highly recommend.
I'll go next.
JB, go for it.
I'll go next. I'm gonna be simple. No, we're not ready. Nobody is. There's no vaccine set. It doesn't matter how many parameters you have. You can have masks on everybody. You can have social distancing and all this, good stuff. And I understand it does work and it helps, slow it down. But for these mass gatherings that that C2E2 draws hundreds, tens of thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands of people almost per year. We need a fully working vaccine. That's just my opinion. Like we're not ready to do this because we don't have the working vaccine right now. We don't, And while I think the parameters are great, we could have it set up that way and it would make a difference. We need something that's going to be 100% on the dot, just ready to keep everybody safe. And I think the vaccine is the only way that it's really going to work. I just don't think cons would work right now. Or wrestling events big wrestling events like WWE are going to work at this time.
Wild card, your thoughts?
All right. Well, you guys know that how much how opinionated I can get when it comes to Comic Cons, but I'll keep this very short and brief. And Alejandro, I do hope you are listening to this because I am speaking directly to you, man. Everything that E just said, man, it's true. It's true. This thing is real. The world we're living in right now is not safe right now, especially for big gatherings there. Especially now, with all these cases still popping up, fluctuating. I mean, there's been some progress, but then again, there's also been some people who've done some. Well, I'm just gonna be honest. They've done some pretty stupid stuff, especially trying to go out without any masks, trying to do these mass gatherings. I'm not going to point any names out there. There's some certain states who are just not adhering to the social distancing rules. But the way I see it, I'm just going to say no. It is definitely not safe to go to a Comic-Con or a wrestling show because of the fact that there are still fluctuating numbers with this virus right now. And keep this in mind. Comic-Cons, wrestling shows, they will return at some point. They will return at some point, whether it be next year, hopefully not 2 years from now. But let me ask you this. Is your health going to actually recover? Is it going to come back if you do end up getting this virus? Think about that.
My reply is going to be short. No, we're not ready for wrestling shows. We're not ready for conventions. I miss them. I definitely miss them. I'm glad that we, have San Diego Comic-Con at home. I'm glad that AEW, WWE, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Wrestling are putting on shows on TV that we can watch because, it would get awfully boring. But no, as far as live audiences or attending like wrestling shows right now, I think that's a hard pass for me right now until we get a vaccine. We got to wait till things get better. So that's pretty much my answer. The next question we have is from Brian Panfilo. He's asking, what meet and greet that you guys have attended is your favorite, and what is your most prized autograph in your collection? Keep this to maybe one or two wrestlers, but go ahead. Who would like to take this one? EJB, go for it.
Easily for me, meet and greet, easily. Undertaker. Come on. My all-time favorite wrestler. I got to meet him at the Chicago Sports Spectacular last year. Highlight of my life, literally. One of the greatest moments ever. Just getting to stand next to him, shake his hand, him asking how I'm doing, and ask me if I'm ready for the weekend, if I'm ready for wrestling this weekend. It was a real fun time, and it was one of my favorites. That one, and then probably one, if I had to get one more for you guys, it would probably be, I would have to say, meeting Chris Jericho. But it wasn't at a wrestling show. It was at a Fozzy concert. And he was one of the nicest dudes ever. He signed everything that I had. He didn't care. And he was just really nice and talkative. We talked about music for about 5 or 10 minutes, and it was just one of the coolest things ever. As far as the prize collection, as far as anything in my collection I have signed, besides my Smoking Skull Championship that I have signed by a shit ton of people, which of course, that's my baby, my prized possession there. I would have to say it would be a lot of my, I'd say it'd be my Bullet Club umbrella signed by the Elite. I think that was cool because it was a Pro Wrestling Tees grand opening, a big time moment for PWT and for wrestling fans around the area. We went there, got the umbrella signed by all the guys, and it was just really cool. One of the greatest things of that time, man. And I still have that umbrella. I bring it out from time to time, especially at Comic-Cons for people to see and check out. But yeah, those are probably my favorite moments: meeting Taker, meeting Jericho, and then getting that umbrella signed by the Elite. Those were great moments there.
All right, who would like to take this one next? Wild card.
Yeah. I'll be quick about that too. That's a really broad question because we've all attended all different kinds of meet and greets before. God knows how many we've attended, but for me personally, this one's no secret because we essentially talked about this in a previous episode. Meeting Alex Shelley of the Motor City Machine Guns. Reason being, not really the biggest name, but I think just from the quality of it, just because. Again, we both work in the same, the medical field. We both work in physical therapy. And the fact that I was able to have a full-fledged conversation with a X Division wrestler, essentially a TNA legend, over something that's not even wrestling related. How awesome is that? That's just very. I just felt like I was able to connect with him not only from just more of a personal standpoint as opposed to a fan wrestler type standpoint. So I thought that was really cool. I'm always gonna take that into biggest considerations as to a meet and greet that I always value. So definitely Alex Shelley for me. And this one I don't think I've ever shared with anybody before, but I actually value my first ever meet and greet as something that I always remember, and that was meeting Triple H. That was actually back when WrestleMania was in Chicago, and then when they were doing all their meet and greet type shows around at the now defunct Tower Records. So I thought that just the fact that it was actually my very first meet and greet. I actually saw Triple H. I'm like, holy shit, it's Triple H. And I was just like awe-inspired. And he was actually a really nice guy to talk to. So, that's something that I always treasure the most. So those two essentially really stick out to me as to the many meet and greets I've ever gone to before. As for prize autographs, I think the only one that sticks out to me was when Will Ospreay signed my IWGP Heavyweight title. I thought that was pretty dope. To have that happen, and just to meet somebody who is just like amazing in the ring, and he signed my crown jewel essentially. So hopefully that answers your question there, but there's plenty more where that came from though.
Go ahead of me.
All right, what's that?
Go ahead of me.
Okay, I'll be short with this one. All right, so two different ones. One, Daniel Bryan, meeting him at the World of Wheels Auto Show in Chicago. Very friendly guy, very personable. This was actually shortly after he first retired, but he was very awesome, very friendly. At the time, he said he was thinking of going back to college, but, that didn't happen. And, hey, why should he if he's back in the WWE where he belongs? The second one I'm going to go with was The Miz at WrestleMania Access. I'm not the biggest Miz fan, but when I met him, holy cow, he treated every fan like royalty. He was very talkative, very personal, very friendly. He even let me hold his IC title at the time. So that was very awesome. It was awesome. And as far as the most prized autograph possession, I would go with, I'll go with the Too Sweet Cosplay banner we all have. All the signatures on there, total gold. Take it away, Nico. Go for it.
Yeah. Great question, Brian. First and foremost, love you, brother. A lot of the cool meet and greets that I've gotten to do recently in the past few years, you have.
I know where this is heading.
You have been a huge part of. So great question, brother. But the top two to me that stick out. First one, and I've told this story before, is CM Punk reaching out to me as a graduation present 2 years ago. I went up to him at C2E2 in 2018. I've known Punk for a couple years prior to that. I said, "Hey, brother, when you fighting again?" Because he was still under contract for the UFC at the time. I was like, "You fighting that Chicago show? I'm hearing rumors about in June." Of course, Punk, played it off as like, I don't know, maybe he was kayfabing me. I go, "Hey, I'm graduating with my degree later this year. I think it would be a real cool graduation gift if you hook me up with some tickets." I was just said that jokingly, but lo and behold, the man said, "Hey, I'll take care of you." And he actually came through and he got me tickets for the UFC fight that later that year in June, along with a VIP meet and greet experience. I got to hang with him. That was cool. I got to meet Holly Holmes, who was a great, tremendous fighter. Robert Whittaker, who was the UFC middleweight champion at the time. Holly Holmes, of course, former UFC women's bantamweight champion, the first woman ever to defeat Ronda Rousey in MMA. So to me, that was something very special, just on the fact that somebody that I look up to and I admire and I truly respect was kind enough to reach out to me as a graduation gift and invite me and have me as his guest. So that to me is a moment I'll always cherish. Another meet and greet that I will always cherish. Probably anything that I did with members of the Elite or Bullet Club at the time. I was with Ezra at the Pro Wrestling Tees grand opening, and the Young Bucks were great. Omega, Cody, even Hangman and Marty. I don't know if we can talk about Marty here, but still, it was just a cool moment. Having my pride and joy, which is my WWE Network logo at the time, they all loved my title just because I have custom side plates on my WWE Championship. If you haven't seen my WWE Championship, I got pictures of it with my own custom side plates. They all immediately signed that. So the fact that my WWE Network logo has my custom side plates can draw the attention of wrestlers who have never held the WWE title or not even associated with the WWE, is something pretty cool and pretty special to me. And just because Brian asked this question, I've had a lot of fun meet and greets with him. We are the Yolo County Tag Team Champions. We are Team Hell on Wheels. He did a thing where he bought the Yolo County Tag Team titles, brought him at a meet and greet with CM Punk at All Out 2 or Starcast 3 during All Out weekend, and we did a photo op with CM Punk. He was the manager of champions for us, and then we did the exact same thing with The Undertaker later that November. So those are just a couple of fun meet and greet experiences that I've had in the world of pro wrestling.
All right, Nico, go ahead and wrap the show up for us, buddy.
Yeah, okay, guys. Hey, real quick. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your questions. Please, we're gonna do another Q&A soon. Send us your questions on all our social media
And I
accounts.
actually like these Q&As. Please keep sending us those questions. Then.
Yeah, send us your stuff. And real quick.
No. I get to say that.
Yeah,
send us your stuff. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. And real quick, to our fans, to our followers, to our listeners, thank you. Trust us when we say this. Cons are coming back, guys. You just got to be patient. Just stay on this ride with us. You know,
just hang tough. Just find just other things. I don't want to preoccupy your time, but this is a good opportunity to find other hobbies for yourself to kind of keep yourself, in check, though, because I know that life without cons right now can be a little bit antsy for some people. But think of it as a new opportunity to recharge your batteries. Get engaged in a new hobby. Anything to really get your mind off of it until cons get up and running again.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, guys. Don't forget also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give this video a like if you don't mind, please.
Hey guys, we're what, less than like 200 people from 1,000?
Yeah, we're less than 200 people away from 1,000.
Yeah, please
seriously, tell your friends, get us to 1,000 subscribers. That would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, guys, definitely that's what we want.
That'd be pretty awesome if we could do that.
Yeah, please, guys, share this video with all your friends and family. Of course, follow Too Sweet Cosplay on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're gonna upload.
Let us know what you guys think of this video format. We want to hear what y'all thought. If you'd like a shortened edition, or if we should go back to the older format, please leave comments about what you thought about this week's presentation.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you guys once again. We appreciate your support. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy whatever wrestling's on. And may your week be nothing short of too sweet.
All right.